Swagman, before you all I stand. And I've had many UPS and downs while traveling through the land. I once was well-to-do, my boys, but now I am stumped up, and I'm forced to go on rations in an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. I'm forced to go on rations in an old bark hut. 10 pounds of flour, 10 pounds of beef, some sugar and some tea. That's all they give to a hungry man until the 7th day. If you don't be mighty sparing, you'll go with a hungry gut. For that's one of the great misfortunes in an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. For that's one of the great misfortunes in an old bark hut. That bucket you boil your beef in has to carry water too, and they'll say you're getting mighty brosh if you should ask for two. I've a billy and a pink pot and a broken-handled cup, and they all adorn the table in the old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. And they all adorn the table in the old bark hut. Faith, the table is not made of wood as many you have seen, for if I had one half so good, I'd think myself serene. 'Tis only an old sheet of bark, God knows when it was cut. It was blown from off the rafters of the old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. It was blown from off the rafters of the old bark hut. And a ferny cat, there's no such thing, 'twas never in the place, except the stool I sit upon, and that's an old case. It does as far as safe as well, but you must keep it shut, or the flies would make it cant around the old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. Or the flies would make it cant around the old bark hut. If you should leave it open and the flies should find your meat, they'll scarcely leave a single piece that's fit for man to eat. But you mustn't curse nor grumble, what won't fatten will fill up. For what's out of city's out of mind in an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. For what's out of city's out of mind in an old bark hut. In the wintertime preserve us all to live in there's a treat, especially when it's raining hard and blowing wind and sleet. The rain comes down the chimney and your need is black with soot. That's a substitute for papa in an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. That's a substitute for papa in an old bark hut. I've seen the rain come in this hut just like a perfect flood, especially through that great big hole where once the table stood. There's not a blessed spot, me boys, where you could lay your nuts, but the rain is sure to find you in the old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. But the rain is sure to find you in the old bark hut. So beside the fire I make me bed, and there I lay me down, and think myself as happy as the king that wears the crown. But as you'd be dozing off to sleep, our flea will wake you up, which makes you curse the vermin in the old bark hut. In an old bark hut. In an old bark hut. Which makes you curse the vermin in the old bark hut. So now my friends, I sung my song and got as well as I could, and I hope the ladies present won't think my language rude. I know ye younger people in the days when you grow up, remember Bob the Swagman and the old bar.